This is the second part of a series of videos that will attempt to make a timeline of the Legend of Zelda series. In the last video, the ground rules for this attempt were laid out. Now we will look at the keystone of the entire timeline, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. What is there to say about this game that hasn't already been said? It brought Zelda into the 3D age of gaming, introduced the series to an entire new generation of gamers, and above all else, this game rocked. But I'm not here to praise the game. I'm here to explain why, as I said in the last video, this game is going to be the linchpin of the entire timeline. There are several reasons for this, but two stand out above all others. First is that the game is in many ways the origin story of the main villain of the series, Ganondorf of the Gerudo tribe. Ganon is trying to gain access to the Triforce, and, like most villains, is planning on using that to take over the world. As Link arrives in Hyrule Castle, it is seen that Ganon is allowed into the presence of the king, and is trusted, having helped the king in a recent conflict. This would be extremely unlikely, if not impossible, if Ganon was also known to be the king of all evil, so we can assume that this is his first appearance and attempt to conquer the world. This gives us one very easy baseline for placing games in the timeline. If a game has Ganon in it, it should be placed after this game. The second reason for this is using this game as the linchpin of the series just makes sense, given how the timeline splits at this point. For those of you who realize what I'm talking about, you know I'm talking about the split timeline theory. For those of you who are scratching your heads at this point, here's a quick lowdown of what happened. At the end of the game, after Ganon's defeat, Zelda feels sorry that Link has skipped over his childhood, and sends him back in time to before their first meeting. This game ends with Link once again meeting Zelda for the first time, and presumably telling Zelda of Ganon's plans, and then presumably he stopped, preventing Link from needing to go into the future. This creates a paradox, however. If Ganon never activates his plans, then Link never goes into the future, as intended by Zelda. But if Link never goes into the future, he never learns of Ganon's plans in the first place. If he never learns of Ganon's plans, he can't tell Zelda of them. If Zelda doesn't know of Ganon's plans, Ganon has never stopped, and he takes over Hyrule. If he takes over Hyrule, then Link has to go into the future. You see the problem. To get around this, it's believed that at the end of this game, a split, or an alternate reality of the timeline, is created. In the first, Link tells Zelda of Ganon's plans, stopping them before they start. In the other, Ganon's plan is successful. Link arrives 7 years later, defeats him, and then vanishes, having been sent back to the other timeline by Zelda so that he might have a childhood. These are called the Young Link and Adult Link timelines, respectively. At the end of the game, there's several important things to remember when creating a timeline. First is that in the adult timeline, Ganon is sealed away in the evil realm. Next is that in the adult timeline, Serra, Dorinua, Rudu, Impa, and Naboru, as well as Princess Zelda, are all created as sages. Finally, Zelda states that the Master Sword must be returned to the Temple of Time, and while it's not shown on screen, as young Link doesn't have it on him when he returns to the past, it can be assumed that Zelda personally returned it to its resting place. In the Young Link timeline, the new batch of sages is never created, and the Master Sword is never taken from the Temple of Time. This means that the Triforce is still safe within the Temple of Light, to which the Master Sword is the key, Ganondorf not being able to touch the Master Sword. With Ocarina of Time creating the bedrock of this timeline, the next video will start in constructing it in earnest.